What is good? It's your boy Slim Trader. We back at it again with another weekend analysis. I don't know about y'all, but last week was good for me when it came to trading. Hope it was the same for you. Um, let's just get to it. We're gonna do my favorite one first, USD JPY. Then we're gonna work our way to GBP JPY, GBP USD, gold. I think some GA maybe, and then Apple, Nvidia, and Tesla. All right, so let's get to it. We got UJ on board. As we saw Friday, there was a big bearish engulfing. If you look at this engulfing bearish, it engulfed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 2 weeks worth of volume. So that kind of tells me that there's some sellers because the last time there was another one, this one right here engulfed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, pretty much almost 5 days worth. So the sellers are here. However, we're still kind of in an uptrend in a sense. We're just playing in this little trend. And we got this little wedge going on. We got this little counter trend. We got this uptrend, but the support is still holding. If we look at the support at 146 area, 146,500, we're still not closing below it. So we still have opportunities for bullish for UJ, believe it or not. So don't get fooled by the big bearish candle that happened on Friday. Um, what I would like to see to a continuation of a bearish situation is we did end with this little hammer, but I think this could be a pullback situation where we see UJ come back up to retest this little midpoint area. If I see any type of rejection, I'm taking price all the way down to 45,700 range at the very least. We could possibly see it break down and come all the way down to 143,500. That'd be the next area of concern. We do have GDP this week. That's a big thing. PPI. So it's just something to look at. But we're still overall in an uptrend. Because if we look at this move right here, just if we look at from here, let me see. How can I do this? Hmm. Let's just circle from here to here. If we just look at this whole move we got the start right here. We made a high. We got a lower high, higher high, and this is still, excuse me, higher low, higher high, higher low. We still trading above this area, so we haven't broke that. So we're still in the uptrend technically. So that's what we got to be careful of and mindful. But either if you're confident that we're still in an uptrend, this will be a good place to buy with a stop loss below here or even behind the trend line. Otherwise, if you're looking for sales, which um, still see a possibility of that just because I see a lot of sellers in here. But UJ can kind of be tricky. But if I see any type of heavy rejection in this area, it's probably looking like it's gonna continue down. GJ, we got GJ. We still broke this little consolidation area in a sense, and we've failed to close above this area. So for me, if I'm looking at UJ and I'm looking at GJ, it looks like the yen is trying to pick up some strength here. So that's definitely something to pay attention to and try to gauge what it wants to do. But again, we had this nice 4-hour bearish candle that kind of engulfed a lot of this progress that the bulls were trying to make. So even though this area is staying strong, the support area, and then we had this little trend line, it's almost like we came above it, retested, and now we're staying above it. So we can still see continuation to the upside. I know last week I was saying that price could get to like the 202 400 range, and that's still possible. But only reason why it's possible is because we're still holding above here. If I see a break and close below here, then we can probably see GJ getting back to the 195 range. I like to play zone to zone. So right now we're kind of playing in between one zone, but Um, it's had a lot of trouble trying to break this line right here. This at 200, that's a major psych level. So it's something to be aware of. But the yen look like it's picking up, to be honest. It really does. So I wouldn't be surprised if we do see lower lows for GJ. I'm gonna watch. I think this week is gonna be a very a very great week to capitalize. And I think the move is gonna be so fast. You just gotta be making sure your alerts are on and you're watching the charts, if anything. Therefore, you don't miss the move. But I think it's gonna give a nice indication of where it wants to go. So I would be ready if I were you. But to me, if I had to choose on GJ, I just kind of think it's possibly going to head on down. I think we're going to see a nice little bearish run for GJ. And I'm honestly kind of feeling that for UJ. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. I think it's Yen's time to shine, but we'll see. We got GU, same thing. It looks like it's a little bit stronger than the dollar. So I like to do a little. What do you? I say rock scissors paper, but people call it paper rock scissors. Whatever, it don't matter. It's the same concept. But when I look at UJ, GJ, GU, all three of those countries, those currencies, I'm looking at, okay, I think the yen may be stronger than the dollar. Then I'm looking at GJ. I think the yen might be stronger than the pound. Now I'm looking at GU. It looks obviously right now that the pound is stronger than the dollar. So out of those three, the dollar would be the weakest. Then it would be the pound. Then the strongest would be the yen. So but I want to be careful because I'm looking at how GU with this nice bullish candle, and we're kind of like riding an uptrend in a sense, um, comparing that to the yen. But I'm what I'm gauging off of, if the dollar is the weakest out of the three, then I'm definitely gonna probably look for buys for GU and sells for UJ in a sense. So that's how I kind of do my bias sometimes. I like to do some type of economic divergence, and it helps me out. I don't know, whatever y'all do, let it help y'all out. But if you look at it this way, if you want to look at it in a sense of this could be like a mini little counter trend that we already broke in a sense, we can see price kind of come down, maybe retest this red line, and then start heading up. That's what I would probably be looking for GU. I would like to see if or price can just keep going up, but I would love to see it come down a little bit and and then head back up. So I'm bullish on GU. It looks like we're still making that move to the upside. If you want, if even if you want to look at it from a fib aspect, I mean, we got the low, we got the high, we got the pullback going on right now. We're kind of a little bit above 50%. I really like to see price come at 50% or lower. But in this case, this could possibly do to see price go to the next destination, which lines up, the 27 extension lines up with 137. This line that I have, 137.205. So a good confluence. We're on a support. So we see price was a support right here, even though it did break down, but it does show that there is a little bit of support here. We had rejections, and then we had support right here. Now we have support right here. So this is a key level. And then we have like a trend line going up. So with those two, we got the fib, we had the pullback. It only lets me know that only kind of like for me, I feel like GU is going to go up based off of that confluence. And you're not going to be right all the time. But when you have things lining up like that, you want to take advantage of it and go from there. And we're looking at the bigger picture of the fib. We have the fib starting down here. We have the bigger higher high than the pullback at the 61.8. 61.8 was once a resistance, support, kick off the trend line, and then we had a little hesitation on the trend line. So the 27 extension lines right up with the 61.8 that we had at the original one that we did right here. So us so many confluences for me to feel like GU is going to continue to head up. So it looks like we're riding this trend very nice, and this trend's been all the way since the beginning of the year. So why not? And if you look at it in a sense like this, you have left left shoulder, head, right shoulder with a bullish momentum, bullish candle. Even though we're having trouble passing this area right here, this 136, I think this could be the move. We broke this counter trend. Here goes the counter trend that I've already stated. We broke that. We're heading up. That's how I'm looking at it, and I think that's how you should look at it in a sense. So, and then even with this, you can kind of see. I was looking at something, but I lost what I was looking at. It's all good. But left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Gold I really didn't even look at or touch this week just because I just don't like this crazy range that it's doing. But if the dollar's going to be weak, then and the only telling you the gold's going to be strong, and gold been on a tear. It's just been kind of in this consolidation zone, but you can see the day Friday ended in this nice bullish momentum. We did have a gulfing here, we had a little pullback, and we got that. So we could possibly start still seeing some new highs for gold. I don't, I don't, I just can't see these two bullish moves happen and then some odd instance of it just collapsing from there. I'm still gauging gold to get to 35.40 eventually. So gotta figure out a way to get in. I ain't gonna lie and just hold it. Shoot, seems like that'd be the best bet. GA is, let me take off some of these fibs. I know I got a lot of lines, but I promise you, I understand what's going on, but it could be confusing for somebody else. And that's why, however you do your analysis, let it work for you. I know how I do mine, and maybe one day I can make a course so maybe people can understand how I do things because there's a lot of things, and I ain't gonna say a lot. There's a few things that I do that I don't even show or put on here on how I get my key areas and things of that nature. Um, I'm not gonna sit here and call it the secret sauce or anything, but I've been doing this long enough, and what it works for me is trial and error. You know, like Thomas Edison. Thomas Edison invented the light bulb. Do you know how many times trial and error he did to figure out how to make a consistent bulb that illuminates? He went through a lot of failure, a lot of error, a lot of backtracking, a lot of testing. And it's the same thing with trading. You have to realize that it's not going to be some overnight success. There's going to be a lot of lessons learned. I'm not going to say failure because you don't want to look at it as failure. You want to look at it as lessons. There's going to be a lot of lessons to be learned. And you need to take those lessons and apply it and build on that foundation until you find something that works for you or you find that sweet spot, that edge that you need. And for me, I found my edge. So I hope that um, you're just not praying and hoping that it's going to click for you one day. Well, I mean, it should click for you one day, but you got to put in the work too. You have to put in the work and you have to figure out what works for you, what doesn't work for you. Are you a scalper? Are you a day trader? Are you a swing trader? Do you like trading at this time of the day? Do you like this pair? Do you like how it moves? Does this pair make you more money based off your strategy? Like all that plays in it plays its part. And then you got to put yourself in check, your mindset, your mental. Like, are you greedy? Like, are you sticking with your system? Are you getting out at key levels when these prices hit these levels, or are you trying to hold on to see if it still continues to go up and then price drops back down and you lost all your money? Because like, let's say you get right here, you took a trade here, you took a buy, and you're thinking, oh, it passed here, I'm gonna still take it up, 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 but you see it goes down, but then you're wondering, oh, when should I? Maybe I should hold on to it. Maybe it'll go back up and it comes down here and you get out and then it goes back up and you're like, oh shoot, let me get in for another buy. So you get in a buy instead of taking profit here, you're holding and then it goes back down and then next thing you know you're losing money. You got to be disciplined, and trust me, I'm not saying that I'm 100% disciplined. but I'm a lot better than what I used to be. And I've realized you just got to take what you can. The market, there's so much money moving, and I know I'm kind of getting off track, but I feel like this needs to be said. I think this is gems. These are gems I'm about to drop you, but the market, there's so much money being moved. Just take a little bit. Like it's a big wagon of money just bouncing, and then there's a few dollars dropping off. Just take the scraps, take the crumbs. Just take the crumbs. You ain't got to take the whole move. Just take enough. You live to see another day, and that stuff accumulates over time. A lot of us want to get $1 million, $100,000, a $10,000 trade in one day. It will come. It will come. It will happen. It can happen. But take what you can. Take what you can. But back to GA. GA, we were consolidating into this area. We came down a little bit, did like a little dip, and then we shot up. I would have thought that was the time for it to get to like make new highs. But we see on the daily, we had this nice little hanging man and a shooting star, and boom, boom, boom. We could possibly see rejection back to the 205, 750 area, or we could see it touch here and decide it wants to go up because I do have this other trend line that I didn't extend yet, and it stopped right at that area for the weekend. So let's extend this a little bit and let's see what we're working with. Okay. So we got that, and that's where price stopped. So if we go on a lower time frame, let's say we go on a 90-minute and we look at it, we can see price kind of playing between these two lines. I want to see price somehow do some type of bullish move, probably drop down a little bit and then head on up. But here's the support level in line with this counter trend. Are we going to break it or are we going to continue up? But we are in an uptrend. So even though we did kind of, if you look at it on a daily, which is more, it brings in more substance. We do have a nice little pullback going. So we could put our fib, we could put on our fib if we feel like it's going to go up. We could put our fib from here to here. We can sit here and wait and see if price wants to get down to the 50. I mean, I'm not saying price can't go up from where it's at, but around the 50%, 61.8, 78%. That's what I'll be trying to look at for price to continue up. But we have a nice little consolidation this range since April. We've been running in between these two black lines. So be careful with GA. Nvidia stock, we did have a little pullback over the week, but during the week, but we see how price kind of rallied. I'm looking at new highs. I mean, there's nothing stopping Nvidia right now. I mean, there's nothing else to say. We had this nice little hammer or whatever you want to call it, Dragonfly Doji, blah blah blah, and then we had this nice impulse move. So buyers are there. This is support level. We already did the dip. Now here we are trying to make new highs. Apple kind of did the same thing if I'm not mistaken. It did like a little slight pullback, and here we are. We're kind of making a little morning star formation in a sense. But we could possibly still keep going down. We got a gap to fill here. We got this trend line we can retest, which is like the midpoint. Oh, there it goes. Look, it's the midpoint between this red and this red. I was gonna say before it even came on. I'm already thinking. I already had a line on there. It just didn't load up. Listen, I'm trying to tell y'all, this stuff is art. It's pattern based, it's art, and sometimes you can take advantage of it. That's all I'm gonna say. But I still like Apple for the upside. 240 is the next key level for Apple. If Apple wants to break below here, we're looking at the next area of 210-ish before it starts going back up. And last but not least, we have Tezzy. Tezzy. Oh, so many people were like, oh, this dip that came these last 3 days, it came up from 340, dropped down to 314. I didn't panic. I didn't worry. I wasn't concerned because I was like, oh, this thing is going to continue. It's going to go up, trust me. And what did it do? This big bullish engulfing right on the trend line, right on the support. We broke through. We engulfed 1, 2, 3, even this one, 4, 5, 6 days worth. up to the races, up to the sky, 360 then 420 the next destination for Tesla. But hey, what did that dude from Reading Rainbow say? You ain't gotta take my word for it. That's just my analysis. You have your analysis. The beauty about trading is it can go either way. There's people on the opposite side of what I'm going, and there's people on the opposite side of where they're going, and I might be one of them. But take your time, take high value trades, high value setups. You're not gonna win them all. You're not gonna win 100% of them. You're not. Forget it. If you want to have that mindset that you can, you can. You actually can. Be careful though. Just do what you gotta do. Follow your strategy. Be patient. The market paints a nice picture. You just gotta flow with it. But that's all I got for the week. I hope you all have a great week, great trading, and we'll get back to it next week.